Today is the rundown, January 7th. Huge rundown, big day. I thought the biggest news of the day was going to be that I'm no longer, the majority owner and that we sold Barstool and that whole press conference. Probably the most important press conference to date. We are in Times Square. Elmo's around. It's -5 degrees. And we have what I would say is shocking news. I am no longer the majority owner of Barstool Sports. We have taken investment from an investment company called Chernin Digital. Peter Chernin, big swinging dick at the Cracker Factory. And then we got hijacked by Sports Illustrated, The Cauldron, and their article about us weaponizing social media. I'm very mad. This is as mad as I've been in a while about an article. In KFC, I'm almost naturally somehow I'm mad at both of you guys, all right? Let's be honest. I'm mad at both of you. I'll start with you, KFC, because at first you're like, I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to let it go. So I was getting my dander up. And then like 45 minutes later, you went from I'm calm, cool, collected to a direct quote, I'm now nuclear. And this is my blog. It's about me. This is all my thing, which I get.
It's about me. It was about me, Dave.
It was about you. But I just am so mad about that fucking guy, Jimmy O'Grady.
You know what? Just shut up for a second. This is some bullshit that you open up the Barstool Sports rundown with inter-blog fighting. How are you coming at me right now?
No, I was glad. Fine. You did a great job.
Our best moment in a long time together, Dave. We finally joined forces, and now you're fucking tearing us back down.
No, I can live with it.
We did so well together.
All right, I can live with it. I'm on your side. You did a great job tearing this guy down, who is literally, and I know he was doing it for page views. I know he was doing it for clicks. But this pre-DM, like, hey, I'm going to throw a whole fucking a barrel of shit in your face, but I hope we can just, like, overlook it and still be friends. And I don't know, Dan, I guess you were talking logically to him. That tweet, what was that tweet?
Here we go. I mean, he played you again because he pitted us against each other. You go through all my DMs. I basically told him the whole story was bullshit. Kevin and I were talking about it last night because Kevin hit me up after Jamie O'Grady DM'd Kevin, and we were talking about it. And I've talked to this guy before. I've talked to him on the phone. I've talked to him in DMs. He actually, when he was selling the Cauldron, he was looking for partners. So he hit me up and was like, would Barstool, and I didn't even send them to you, Dave, because you would have hated him. So I've had a history with this guy. I know him. So when it hit, I said to him on DM, I was like, that was a trash article. You basically were totally one-sided and you didn't research anything. My whole point with how I approach these things, like yelling and screaming, I know that's what you do, Dave, and that's fine. But I take it a different way. I cut that guy, Nick Stellini, out at the knees when I basically exposed him for being a troll.
I don't care about Nick Stellini. Pirate Simon lookalike is a non-factor to me. It's the O'Grady fucking guy who is...
He played you, though. You realize that...
What do you mean he played me?
He pitted us against each other with that tweet.
He didn't play me. He made you look bad by retweeting that out of the blue. You don't think that made you look bad?
No, because I know my direct message with him, and nothing I said was like, oh, yeah, Barstool's so bad. I said, dude... You're wrong for this.
Yeah, but
embarrassing to the Cauldron.
Yeah, but nobody knew your DMs. No one knew what you said. He just made it like wearing a full. This guy just threw a ton of shit at us.
Yeah, I know what he did. He did it to pit us against you. He did it for this exact interaction right here.
Well, yeah, but I fucking hate this guy.
I know. I don't like him either.
I've never been bed, but if I saw this guy, I would like be like a badger. I'd tear his insides out. I'd start at each leg. I hate this guy so fucking much, and that is who I am, Dan. It's not an act. It's nothing.
No, I know, Dave. But here's
I was literally sitting up here talking to myself, being like, show yourself. To myself, ask them. I like the fact that this guy's disappeared, this Jamie O'Grady, and I saw what Spags did. Spags is right. This is one of these fucking talentless fucking losers who has tried to start like 10 different blogs in 10 different spaces. Fail, 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 fail. He's got this fucking thing and he takes a writer. I don't blame the kid, actually. We made fun of his like girlfriend who he's fucking trying to bang, and he sends an article and like it's published. He must have been the most shocked guy in the room that this guy's like, oh, I'll publish. The problem is when you put Sports Illustrated, that title that's on his Cauldron thing, and you write a garbage piece like that, and then you try to be like, oh, we're all going to be friends now, right? It's like, what fucking planet are you on?
Totally agree.
I didn't know at first that he was even running the Cauldron. I thought he was just kind of being like, I'm giving you a heads up, this site is about to run this. So I thought he was like actually cool with Barstool. And then as I started talking to him more and more, I realized what was going on. What does this guy think the Cauldron is? All his talk about how the Cauldron is beyond reproach and its reputation speaks for itself. What?
And then I said to him, so Dave, the reason you should actually be happy that we have different brains and we have not all Dave Portnoy's running around Barstool. It makes us better. Wouldn't you agree? You approach this in a way where you just start yelling at people on Twitter. I think that's funny. That's fine. I approached it with, I told him, indirect message. I said, this is why your blog is a piece of shit. And listed all the reasons. And got him to basically say, like, realize how stupid what he did was. And posting a guy's first piece without doing any research, without finding out any motives. The guy found out about Barstool 10 days ago, was an embarrassment to the Cauldron. And I told him that. I told him that straight up. And he finally, like, we approached it differently. We probably got different results, but he did that tweet to pit us against each other. That's all he did.
But so you don't find then I'd be, am I echoing? I'd be more mad if I were you than if I were me.
I told him that. He then came to me and he was like, are you going to post these DMs? Because he was pissed that Kevin posted the DMs. And I said, Jamie, you basically posted our DMs by like saying that we were direct messaging. You did the exact same thing to me. He hasn't responded because I keep putting him back in the corner where he can't get out. So we approach it differently. I think, if anything, this was probably the best counterattack Barstool's ever had.
The DM thing, to get mad that someone posts the DMs is bananas to me. Like, that's almost like he was trying to somehow cocoon himself against this onslaught by being like, hey, just kidding. Fuck this fucking guy. This guy is one of the worst guys I've ever fucking encountered on the... And then he does this routine with me where, like, I say something to him and he's like, I forget what it was, like, ooh, or something. Bro, don't play... Yeah, like, don't play fucking casual. You just attacked us, not this fucking Pirate Simon lookalike.
I hate that, but I hate that kid too. And I made him... He basically deleted, like, all the tweets that I exposed him on because he... Before he even posted the blog, was saying how awesome his mentions were going to be and how everything was going to be on fire. And now he's going and scurrying and like apologizing to everyone because the difference between that guy and us, he actually wants to be a real journalist. And he did a really shitty job of being a real journalist. Whereas we're just having fun and we're joking. So the fact that he did all that troll shit and I called him out on it and I screenshotted all his tweets. I was like, dude, you just did all this. He went and deleted them. He's like crying to everyone. I basically took all his fun away from what he thought was going to be like his winning day of beating Barstool.
And also, and I will let you go because I know, Kevin, I've seen you try to talk a couple times, and you had a great response. I'm glad you wrote it. It was great. Same team there, blah, blah, blah. What was I just going to say? What was I going to say? Come on, Brain.
Oh. Come on, Brain. Next level, Brain. You got this. Get there. Get there.
The fuck was it? Oh, this thing. Another thing, and it's I don't like this philosophy that people think it's fair to attack us, but we can't like say anything back. It's banana. We didn't go looking for this fucking fight, but if you start absolutely trashing us, whoa, now you can't say anything bad to us. Someone just had it. Someone tweeted, Charles Horsley or whatever, one of our Twitter followers. He's like, they think you can trash Barstool in like an internet like safe space. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. The fact that he's up to it. It's like he came to me and said, I'm going to post this thing talking shit about you. And then when I respond to it, he's like, whoa, why are you even responding? Why do you even care? You came to me and told me someone was going to sucker punch me, and now I'm fighting back. What the fuck planet is that? Like, I look bad doing that? Suck my dick, man. He is legitimately, I will say it, the worst. Out of everyone we've encountered, KO, Barstool, top to bottom, everyone we've ever fought, Jamie Grady is the fucking worst. Because
I think I agree.
Plays 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and it's just like, I don't have time for that shit. Get the fuck out of my face.
Not only that, but it's factually incorrect, the whole article. He basically was like, yeah, we never condemn anyone going. How many times have I fucking said that we lose when we go around calling people cunts for no reason? I said it a million times.
I brought that word back though.
I know you do, but he basically was like, no one at Barstool ever condemns them. I fucking say it all the time that I don't think we should get in the like troll gutter war and basically prove this guy. He wrote this blog just so that Stoolies and like all of us would respond and call him a cunt and say like fucked up shit to him, and then he would retweet it all and say, look, I proved my point. I'm so much better than everyone. I hate falling into that trap, so I tell people that.
But it's not a trap.
It's not a trap. If you write some shit to you want that response, when that response is so much better than yours and embarrasses you and obliterates you, you don't win. That's not a trap. You walked into the fucking fire and we burned
he did an awful job. He did an awful job. I just hate when people do this, when they like basically they goat everyone in. It's like the Sports Illustrated woman who did it last time when she said everyone was calling her a cunt and no one was. I love when we don't go to that level because then they like reflexively say Barstool harassed me. Then you do a Twitter search and you're like, no, we didn't. We didn't do anything. Like you just proved how dumb you are.
But I don't care if I harass them or am mean. If you come at me, I get I just go on how my blood pressure is going. And this person got me fucking mad. So I'm not gonna like to prove a higher ground, be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to fucking rip your heart out and I want to fucking eat it. That's honestly how I felt about this fucking clown show and his entire clown show operation he's running over there. It's like, oh, this guy's worse than we are. He puts fucking his logo on sports. I hope he gets sued. This guy's the fucking worst, Jamie O'Grady. He's a nobody, a loser, a bum. I get what he did, but when you put that, like, would that have bothered me if it didn't have the Sports Illustrated logo on it? But it gives it credibility. How many people know that this is this kid's first article ever? That like nobody knows that. But
yeah, I got some texts from people being like, "Yo, Sports Illustrated calling you out." I wanted to be like, "No," but that's right. The impression. It's the perception.
Sports Illustrated should be embarrassed. I mean,
that's what I said, Dave. I told him that. I said exactly that. I said, you should be embarrassed with what you just did because you let a guy who has motives and an axe to grind sit on a platform and yell out a one-sided attack on Barstool. And everything you think you've done journalistically, it's bullshit when you do this kind of shit. And it wasn't even well-written. He kept on saying, well, it was a well-written piece. It was garbage. It wasn't well-written. He spelled Patrick Kane's name wrong. He spelled it with a C. What the fuck?
And never mind that. It starts on a premise of something that is so clearly, obviously a joke. And then you have a girl who comes out of nowhere and personally attacks Kevin. And then, ooh, Kevin said something back. That's essentially what it is. It's infuriating. I will never back down for that. I don't go looking for it. And I judge it on my fucking, like, anger meter. And people are sending this. And this goes on to we're sold now. I'm not the boss. You want to talk about it more? I got a call. They want to push back I was going to say. They want to push back the announcement. I said, I will not push back this announcement. I can create content. I don't care what you want to do. You guys want to do your press releases later?
Did they want to push back because they didn't like what was going on, or they just didn't want to be like overshadowed by the hoopla?
They didn't like what was going on.
This is the most of all time. I said that. Dave, like the day of your biggest accomplishment, like we got bought. All this stuff happened. Supposed to be beautiful PR. Barstool's taken to the next level, and here we are in the fucking muck, fighting like we always.
You know what, Dan? There's no place I'd rather be. I'm used to fighting 16 different battles, and now I want to clarify. Chernin, they know who we are, but they're sending out this massive press release. One of the ladies who they're sending to already retweeted that Sports Illustrated link about us. So they're about to send a link like, hey, we just bought the group that you think. And it's like, I want to tell us like, but this is fucking garbage. It's some fucking Pirate Simon. I will not run. I will give you back right now. Every penny you put in, I'll give it back. This is going live today. I will not be run by this fucking clown. I don't care what you do with the press release to the reporters and things like that. I don't care if you put it out at all. But we do what we do, and that's not changing. That's the promise we made. That's the promise I have. I'm not, the day I have to alter my post schedule and alter the biggest announcement, which I already said was happening, because this fucking pimple-faced geek and this guy who I've kicked his ass around the internet for probably 15 years, this guy's like has a poster of me. How do I make a living? He finally stumbled. I'm going to let him dictate what I do? No, no, no. I said that, so we're going live as we're on this. It really did, though. Dan, nothing's going to be easy. We knew that. Maybe this New York thing works. Maybe it doesn't. But I like being in the mud. I always want mud. I want to come out like I just fought like one of those helmets and then fish net on me at all times.
More importantly, I'm happy Chernin got thrown to the fire. They said that they know what we're about. They said that they're not going to control content. Well, the timing could not have broke any better. Here's what we're about. This is it for us. This is the pinnacle for us. And if you can't handle this, it's like when chicks say, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. If you can't handle Barstool when we're in the trenches, you don't deserve all the fucking benefits afterwards.
It couldn't have been. You actually just sent me an email, Kevin, that said, this is perfect timing, literally. And then the phone rang. This is the worst timing ever. Like, couldn't have been like two opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, what a lucky break we have that we're doing this all in one day. And Chernin's like, uh-oh. Because I get what they are. They're going to be like, oh, look who just invested in the fucking sexist pigs, even though it's not. Whenever we announce it, they're going to Google. People who don't like us are going to dig up shit. This is actually the most ridiculous in 99.9% of our feuds are ridiculous. But this is one of the most ridiculous. We're going to run from this fucking Jamie O'Grady clown? No thanks.
I also like all the people who are like, Big Cat, you're trying to distance yourself from Barstool. You're trying to stay away. I'm picking up my whole fucking life and moving from Chicago to New York. I am distancing myself from fucking Bar. I'm going to sit next to Dave every fucking day for the next 5 years. I am distancing myself from Barstool. You guys nailed that
one. What time is it, by the way? 1:59. Oh, so we're going live in a minute, and then this will be out. So interesting. So we'll zip through. San Diego floods, yes or no, was it must watch?
We got gut reaction from one driver who had his car stuck in this. We really feel for him this morning.
Big Cat.
Not even close.
It was funny. It's just not must-watch. We need to have, I think everyone should get 3 must-watches a year, and that'll really make sure it's a must-watch.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Maybe a ticker like on the side. How many must-watches have you used? I'll say this. I thought the best part of the video was the Hardo reporter standing up to his knees in water.
Yes.
That was the must-watch.
When the screen popped up and he was in that thing, I mean, that was funnier than the guy screaming, fuck
No,
me.
because what got me was he's like, we're going to talk to a frustrated commuter, and then they just showed him, like, swearing his face off. I don't know how that happened. Last one quick, because we're just announcing in real time that we're going live, so I'm sure what did you just yell, fuck? Oh, it's up. So we're officially now news. I haven't heard back, by the way, when Chernin was like, our guy is like, are you still going live? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, all right, let us talk about it. I never heard back. I just went live.
We're going to pull the plug on the whole thing.
I mean, what would that not be the most Barstool thing ever?
It's over. Before this went live, we're no longer bought. Hey, you know what? Like you said, that girl quote was the right one. It's love me with all my warts. Clemens versus Halladay. Shut up, Halladay. Clemens is a Hall of Famer with or without juice. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer with the Red Sox. I don't like Clemens, but what's Halladay talking about? He's a Hall of Fame guy.
I don't even understand why anyone gets mad about steroids ever when every single guy was doing it. Like, Clemens did steroids, but so did Barry Bonds. They were facing each other. I mean, like, it makes no sense to me. The pitchers and the hitters and when every single person in an entire era do steroids, they all should get in. If they're like, that elevates everyone. Maybe don't count all their, home runs and all that shit, but they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and Clemens was not one of these borderline guys like who if he didn't use it would not have had a Hall of Fame career. KFC?
know how many teammates of Halliday's probably did steroids too? Like, if you're going to start picking and choosing who you're yelling about, it's not that way. It's either you hate all steroid users, which is what Dan is saying, it's everyone, or just shut the fuck up. Who cares?
And the crazy thing is, these guys are so nuts. Like, I actually won't even bat an eyelash if it's like, oh, Halliday ended up using steroids. Like, these guys are so, like, off their trees and righteous. That's the rundown. We'll go see what the word on the street is about being bought, whether we're still bought in a couple hours. So that's a rundown. Quite a day. Quite a day that will live in infamy for Bros. Infamy.
If we go unbought.
Imagine if we went unbought.
You know what, though? We're bulletproof in a way. Like these guys thought they were going to tear us down, and we put a T-shirt on sale. We'll put a T-shirt on sale that says, like, Barstool Sports, we almost once were bought. And we'll make a bunch of money on that way. We can't lose. We're bulletproof.
All right, that's the rundown.
Video to be released when Dave's new boss lets us.